So I have a short introduction just to kind of explain what it's about. This is about the first boy I ever really liked, the first to break my heart, and tonight is the first night I'm really able to say I'm done with him. It's written from 3 perspectives that are all my own, and I'm reading this to tell you that you must never let anyone steal your happiness, for any length of time. You don't have to forget the pain, you don't have to suffer through pushing it down. Use it, learn from it, and let yourself grow from it. We will always remember. Lying in my bed, I'm wondering what happened. I listen to the cars pass outside my window and watch the shadows of their headlights dance across my ceiling. My roommate breathes softly, and I feel my chest tighten like it has so many times today, and I am brutally aware of the location of my heart. When will this feeling die? When will the chains he locked to my heart rust and break away? I curl my legs in close to me and I pull my blankets tighter. How long has it been since I saw him last? An hour? 2? Why am I thinking of him now? I prepare myself for the battle I know hides just around the next corner of my own consciousness. With the reappearance of a far too familiar ghost, it all starts. Voice hoarse from screaming all through the daylight hours, my mind can manage only a frail whisper to plead for the departure of his haunted image. Why can't he leave me alone? As soon as I think the wounds have started to close, he's there again. Will I ever find peace? My heart and body scream in response with an undying volume. We will never be silent. We have not forgotten. We will always remember. I hate it. I hate it all. As the emotions well up inside of me, it's as if I fight to control the movement of an angry flame. We remember the way he moved his legs while he slept. We cannot forget the feeling of his body against ours. When he shuddered from an unpleasant dream, we simply held him tighter. We rested our cheek on his shoulder and entwined our legs around his. He stilled and smiled. We will always remember. My mind fights to stifle the memories pouring from the 2 defectors. None of that matters. His smile was not for you. His comfort was not taken from the thought of you wrapped around him, clutching him tightly. All he felt was the warmth of another person. That's all he needed, all you could provide, and all he felt. Don't be so stupid as to think any of it meant a thing. Struggling to capture the shifting comfort of sleep, I bury my head in my pillow but instantly recoil. His scent still lingers on the cloth, and the images that flash through my mind drive the pain deeper. I turn my head away, I look out into the center of my room, and the voices clamor for attention. You see, right there? That is where he held us. You remember it, admit it. We had turned away from the windows and into his arms. None of us expected it. He laced his arms around our shoulders, looked into our eyes, and simply smiled. He kissed us softly, meaningfully. After our lips parted, he held us, looking into our eyes, needing nothing more than to look into our eyes. We will always remember. Idiot! He held us out of guilt. He held us out of confusion. He did not look into our eyes for any personal satisfaction. He searched our face for clues as to the hurt we'd feel when the truth was revealed. The feelings you saw shining behind his eyes were not feelings of affection or possession. They were feelings of regret, feelings of remorse. Those seconds where he held us in his arms, staring deeply, were the beginnings of his apology. Fighting back tears, I roll over and face the wall. Everywhere I look, a different memory surfaces. The desk he sat at while we flirted that night. The calendar I moved so he could rest his back against the wall while we talked of our futures, our dreams, our emotions. The paint clumps and scratches I stared at while he nibbled my ear and kissed my neck. It was great, wasn't it? The way he paused and looked at us before claiming our first kiss. The way he apologized because he knew we wanted it to be special. The look on his face when we told him we were about to ask him to anyway. No matter what happens, we will never forget. It's not true. That pause was his first and final attempt to stop himself, to save himself from taking that final step to hurt us. His apology was not just him doubting himself. It was him knowing how little it really meant. None of it is true and none of it matters. Then forget him. Ignore our attacks. If none of it is true, why listen to us? Why allow our voices to pierce your every protest so easily? If it's such a simple thing for you to dismiss the first boy to look at you and see something he liked, you don't deserve another. As for us, we will never forget. We will carry this pain with us forever. We will wear the scar and let it remind us of every emotion we felt that night for the first time in our existence. We will always remember.
went to a poetry open mic with Queen Goddess in Jazz Poetry Jams in Kansas City, who's one of the most powerful poets